If you have yourself a YouTube channel and you start thinking to yourself, hey, self, I really like my kitschy beginning and my cool little way that I ask people to subscribe, and I love my ending that I've created, you're probably a douche. So, very purposefully, I myself try to avoid that kind of kitschy nonsense. You're welcome. The greatest compliment that has come out of my tiny, tiny little YouTube fame is when I get on the telephone with a client and they say, your realism is what brought me into the fold, Danny. Thank you. I can't say I don't know any other way because I'm a thespian. I was an actor in high school. That's how I got my letter. But this isn't acting. If you're following others on any social media, be it Instagram, TikTok, God forbid, YouTube, Facebook, all of these platforms are trying to beat one another out and be better than the other. And in doing so, they end up copying each other. If you're following someone who claims to know about a thing, whatever that thing is, be it gardening, chopping lettuce, cookery, sushi, God forbid, money, some tax professional or expert, or investing, are they talking to you about gold and showing their fingertips and 4 pieces of gold? They're after clicks, guys. Just look a little bit deeper. And if you're in it for entertainment, great. I know that some people even follow me or follow the channel or jump onto these lives and get excited about it. By the way, ask questions in the chat. This is really me. We're really live right this very minute. And we are going to get on with our friend, my client, and call the landlady. So that's going to happen. So stay tuned for that. But feel free to ask your questions. We'll get to those before we make the call. Just want to rant a little bit about you're watching some 20-year-old who should be talking about skincare. Instead, he's talking about millions, money. I'm the financial expert that you've always needed. Come on. I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up 70s, really. I grew up watching television, and every time there was a claim, there was a disclaimer. Results not typical, right? Tiny little letters. John F. Never gave anybody's last name. Paid actor. Not a real person. I'm not ranting about anything specific. I'm just telling you that the internet is the Wild West. You can click on my lifestyle videos and cull bits of information. Look, I feel a little icky when I'm out to dinner 4 or 5 days a week and the bill doesn't matter. I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, look at this plate. When my wife makes dinner, it's different. I send those pictures to friends. It's an odd dichotomy when you're in that position. Then there's folks on the other side that are out to dinner with their parents or their friends, and they're snapping photographs of a cheap glass of champagne and showing it to you and saying, don't you want to be me? Not really. You don't. I'm not here to talk to you about mental health or what to invest your money in. I am here, although we have a ton of fun on this channel, Although I love the asides. You want to talk about watches or movies? Huge film fan, huge fan of business. I'm here to help you change the everything of your dollars and cents and to do it with laundromats. I said it. Please feel free to jump in and ask long form questions, short questions. Ask me where I get my haircut, whatever you would like to do. And in moments, we will be getting on with an actual real live landlord and one of my clients. Hey, Danny, great to be here. Well, thanks, Mike. These are your chats. This chat might go away. I'm not sure how it works when you're watching this evergreen video, but right now it is truly live. Hi, Danny. Best wishes from Israel. Hi, Ed. Shalom. Susie says hello, and then there's like a hand. Great. Ken says, hello, you louts. Ken knows me. Tawny has a bunch of thumbs ups and hearts and guys with sunglasses. That's adorable, Tawny. Are you 11? I hope so. Michelle has a pointed question. Danny, comma, how much should we have in reserve for TI and other before starting the laundromat acquisition process with you? Michelle, for those of us that have done this dozens of times, and there are a few of us, it becomes a game. We will not spend any money to get that next store operating. We have it in reserve, we have it in droves from the other laundromats that are already operating, but in your case, that's a question of fear. What is the number? What is the mark? Nothing. Sounds silly, but if you knew that was possible, would you start today? Or would you sit on your hands like you're doing now because you're worried about how much you need to save? I had a consultation with a client who saw my entire course the other day, and he texted me, hey, I've seen some stuff about LLCs lately. What is that? Oh, boy. Should I write him a lengthy diatribe about what a limited liability company is? Should I ignore him? Should I say, oh boy, into my phone? There are stupid questions. All right. Ignorance is different than stupidity. Everyone in these United States should have an LLC for every liability and every asset, period. Those that go to a job and trade their time for money will never understand that. It's the fear. How much money do I need before I start with Danny? That's your question. What's an LLC and when do I need it? That's his question. Now? But why is it scary? I pay $25 each for LLCs. My accountant does them. You could do it yourself for free. I wouldn't, because the time involved isn't worth the rub. So the answer is nothing. I'm not going to put a number on it because the answer is nothing. The answer is start now, not tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Now I sound one of those dickheads in a fake private jet. Javan. So, no comma, never started. So after the lease and equipment, where do you get the money needed to fix up said laundromat? Oh boy. You guys are going to piss me off today. After the lease and equipment? So you don't have the course. I know that. Renovation money. All right, I'm going to be nice. Answer in real time, Javan. Answer in real time. Would you paint and renovate your own kitchen? Everybody can answer. Would you renovate your own kitchen? Only you can answer that. Would you renovate your own kitchen? Switch out, maybe you've got an old vent hood, switch it out. Redo your tile, your backsplash. Does all this scare you? Change out the countertops, the sink, everything that's in your kitchen, and you own your home. Would you do it yourself? I don't see any answers. It's slow in the uptake here. This is answering Javin's question about where does the renovation money come from? Come on, guys. Let's go back to it here in a second. Susie, I've been wondering about freestanding laundromats that are for sale. What is your advice about buying the building and not the business? There are a couple in my area. Okay, well, if it's for sale, what is the appraised value for the dirt, the building, etc.? If it's $500,000, then give them $499,999. If they want $580,000 because they're valuing the laundromat at 80, no. Now you've got yourself a free laundromat. If that real estate makes sense. Should you be buying now? Give it 6 months. But that's a discussion about markets, isn't it? I love real estate. You should have real estate. If you don't, you should get into it, but it costs money, unlike the cash flow that is our truly free laundromats. Should you buy a building with a laundromat in it? Sure. There's no need to allocate rent to anyone other than yourself through 2 LLCs. Smart thinking. All this is in the course. But you're finding laundromats for sale in your area. Stop doing that. Susie, what's your disposition? Have you seen the course? Laura from New Jersey, how's goes the battle? It never ends. Laura. Laundry louts everywhere. Yes. Sweet. Made it on a live, says Greg. I invested in your course and halfway through, quite an investment. It's like $3. I'm an HVAC and residential commercial appliance repairman. Thank you for the value and entertainment you provide. Well, thanks for saying that, Greg. Salt of the earth. Get yourself a couple of laundromats. I'm happy to help. Michelle, okay, that's helpful. I'll be reaching out mid-October to start the process. Bullshit. That's tomorrow. All right. Laura says yes to the question, would she renovate her own kitchen? Let's go back to Javine. I don't know your answer, bro, because you probably fucking left. Oh, this is boring. I'm leaving. If you're the type that would renovate your own kitchen down to the last nut and bolt, then this is a no-brainer for you. To paint a laundromat, a painter is going to charge you a couple of $1,000s. You can do it for a few hundred. Put it on a debit, a credit card. Paint rollers if you don't already have them. You following me? If you're afraid to renovate your own kitchen and you're the type of person who would never do it, this is like the ultimate DIY. Slapping the paint on the walls in a laundromat, that's more like painting your neighbor's basement or garage that no one ever goes into. You don't give a shit. You're drunk. He's buying the beers and the paint. That's what this process is. Renovating a laundry, it's equipment. It's equipment. Stop overthinking it. I'm a little bit sick, and I've done entire webinars on the monster under the bed. Who on here is going to really do this? We're hearing that Michelle will be doing it. For some reason, she won't start until mid-October. So she's a few weeks away from actually doing something. Paint till you faint. There you go. I like that. Paint it. And don't smoke. Paint it. What movie? I put a few X's across the thing so I can keep my place. And now we're going to get this lease done. Done. Chuck tells us he's in the car. He texted me that.
Hey, Danny, good afternoon.
Roll up your windows.
I'm actually out of the car, but I'm on the street here, so there might be some noise, but
That's
at least
fine.
I'm not driving.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, anyone
so
that
I assume she texts back?
Yes, she did text me back.
Okay.
It's all happening. All right, as fast as you can, tell us what you're getting for free, what your lease looks like, and what the hell we need to still call on.
Okay, so what we're getting for free, 18 months abated rent, which is awesome. We are getting 9 months of free cams. Cams will kick in at month 10, so that'll start a little bit earlier, but that's okay. We are getting updated as needed HVAC systems, and they are going to remove the old flooring for us, which is great. Less costs we have to deal with. So the only thing that's kind of hanging out on the lease itself in debate is they did ask for a deposit of $2,000 plus $2,000 first month's rent. I assume we have to pay the first month's rent, right?
Hell no.
No? Okay, whatever.
Not going to give them shit.
Okay.
For the first month's rent, yeah, that's fine, because that's actually the first month on month 19.
Yeah, which it's not that big of a deal, which is fine, I don't care. But
yeah.
And then there was just, I did send you the lease. Again, you don't have to go through page by page, but there was like a little red line, just again updating some of the language, so to speak, on the section about the HVAC. Again, it was clear, but I think they cut and pasted it from an old lease and just cleaning up the language. And then the very last page, similar kind of thing, just saying like tonnage to be appropriate for a laundromat, that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
so it's really it's mainly the deposit.
I will touch on that, because the way that you soften them up for the 1-2 punch, you never want to call and say, okay, we're going to sign this thing, but gee whiz, now they're waiting for the shoe to drop. We don't want to bring a deposit check. Instead, you say, oh, change the locks. We'll pay for it. We don't have a locksmith that's local. And scratch the deposit. That's kind of the way that you do it. And then you shut up and you wait for them to be like, well, what? So I'll say, Chuck has redlined some things. It just looks like standard language that, needed to be changed. He can email that over to you. And
real straightforward.
But that's it. Yeah, I mean, it's a stupid $2,000 call. You got to get in there and sign this thing, because you're running out of the first day of October-y time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then can you ask them if I need to come in person or what? Because they did have a section on there that needs to be like notarized, which is fine. It's just, I mean, this isn't exactly close to my house. I can make it work, but if they need me to come in person,
all of that is up to you. I'm going to do the negotiation part. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty about in person or not.
Okay.
But I'm sure you can. Okay. I'm sure you can do an electronic signature. I shouldn't say that.
Okay.
I'm almost positive you can do electronic signature.
Okay.
Fair
enough.
Corey, isn't this the gal that was like in the Bahamas and?
Yeah, she was on a cruise in Europe, and she liked to go to the Bahamas and all that stuff.
All right, here we go. Stand by. Let's see if she talks about herself. Have you subscribed? Now is when you subscribe, when the ringing happens.
Hi.
I agree. Let's get this lease signed.
Oh. So what do you need?
Thank you for asking. Chuck, of course, went through the lease with the finest of fine combs, and there's 2 little items about the HVAC that look like that they are boilerplate. No big deal. Do you want him to sign in person? Is that the way you do notaries and stuff?
He doesn't have to sign in person.
All right, good. Because he'll email you back those little things, and 18 months abatement. He'll bring you the $2,000 for first month, and the last thing we'd like you to scratch the deposit. I think it's boilerplate as well. You have a deposit on there.
I have to run that past the owner.
Sure. That's it. That's all. We're done. Let me know what you find out. Everything else looks good, and we'll electronic signature. Drive safe.
Yeah. Does he? Yeah. out and then get it notarized and send it back to me, right?
Sure. Yeah. Either way, I mean, he can put it in the mail, but I guess I'll have him email you the red lines, which is just these two things about the HVAC.
Okay, works for me.
You're
All right.
amazing. Drive safe.
All right, thank you. All
Ciao.
right, take
Bye.
care. Bye now.
I love fake ass people. It's just my favorite thing. Bye now. Bye bye. Yeah, we were talking about fake before, weren't we?
Hey, bud, you hung up on me.
I did not. So bye now. Bye now. All right. So what happened was this. It's all.
No, I heard. I did hear it.
Yeah.
I heard it. Yeah.
So we've got you
So-
the business rights, all the infrastructure. 18 months. They're going to spend the money on HVAC. They're putting in all new air conditioning. They're redoing the floors. They're doing all the shit we asked for. And then this is just the twist of the knife for the, hey, we don't want to give you $2,000. But you heard her like, I'll ask. And look, if she writes me back, they've already lost because I'm good on the phone and I always want to make these things happen on the phone. That's what you hired me for. That is what I do. And I'm not going to text a landlord or email them ever, anything other than agreed upon LOI. So even if it's only $2,000, I had a $55,000 lease deposit in LA. Don't get me started. I made that.
Oh, jeez.
I turned that to zero. So my record is perfect.
Awesome.
Now, if she does push back, what are you having lunch? What are you having, oysters? It sounds like oysters.
I'm with my wife. We're heading to the theater tonight. So.
Oh my God, I should leave. You have tux and tails?
No, not that fancy, but it's okay. But no, we were having a quick cocktail beforehand.
Good. All right, I'll let you go. What are you going to see?
No, I'm good, man. I got a minute though. Go ahead.
What are you going to see?
Oh, I'm sorry, Hamilton.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah, I love that one. Good one, yeah.
Not my favorite president. Not the 37th and greatest president. All right, so you're good. I assume that she's just going to write back, but what I would do is nothing. If she asks you to email back the red lines, that's fine, or you can just sign it. I don't think that she wants to meet with you, and you'll give her first month's rent. All right, go do your thing with your wife. Tell her I said hi.
Okay, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.
It seems like my time is so valuable, or at least people think it is, that no matter what they are doing, they're willing to drop everything and get on the phone with Danny Boy, and that just seems ridiculous. If I'm out at the theater and drinks with my wife, I'm looking at my phone like, well, that fucking lease can wait. But that's just me. Jump on and ask me some questions that haven't yet been asked in this particular live. Please, how does it work, Danny? How do I work with you, Danny? What's in the course, Danny? I don't want stuff and things and questions that end up selling my silly course. Some of you know me, not personally, unless friends are watching this. Back to those false idols and those shitty fake gurus. There's a guy in the laundry industry who calls himself a thought leader. Oh my God. It just springs to mind. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Danny D'Angelo ever saying to anyone with a straight face, well, I'm a thought leader? Good God. And they eat this shit up. Millions in debt. I'm a thought leader. So now I go to my little X marks and you guys ask more questions as we go. It's just us. What we just did is we turned Charles's laundry into a truly free. Do you want to bring a $2,000 check for a deposit on a 15-year lease? Hell no. She didn't balk about it. If she did, I would have talked to her about her bulk. She did not, which means it's done. If it's not done, I'll come back on here and tell you. I know when it's done. Well, I'll ask. It's done. We've never done that before. We always get a deposit. Well, not tomorrow. Hello, sir, says Brohim. I'm a new viewer. I've built, owned, and operated 2 successful insurance agencies. Do you think my insurance business skills would transfer well to owning a laundromat? Thank you. Well done. What is your name, sir? If you were not new here, you'd know. Give me your name. And yeah, of course, any skill set. Even if you're a weekend laborer, it's going to bring those skills to any business and anything that you do. We drop you in the middle of the desert with no water. You're like, well, I remember that time I had to work an 8-hour shift and I forgot to pee. Right? Good analogy? I don't know. Michelle, from any other investment comes in mid-October. Okay, I get it. I understand. I'm messing with you. Roll up your windows. Exactly. He told me he was driving. Score. Exactly right. Ed says he likes it. Thank you, Edward. Danny is the master of negotiation. You put an S on it, but that's fine. Tim says, Danny, you have inspired me. Sometimes when I read your comments, I'm a little scared because I don't have anyone. I shouldn't tell you this, but I don't have, what do they call them, mods. I don't have moderators. There's nobody behind a curtain that's making sure you guys don't pull some bullshit. So I'll just read it if you do. Anyway, most of you know that. Danny, you have inspired me going to get the course in the next few days. Tim, I assume that money is tight, so I appreciate that, but the course is very inexpensive. Do you know that? It's a bit ridiculous. I'm no saint. I charge for it, but it's because I've worked and am continuing to work very hard on it. Anything that takes my time, my energy, the website's old. I don't give a shit. You're on here, you're watching, this is live right now. Look at the time. And I appreciate you saying that I have inspired you. Let's inspire you further. Let's change your future. Let's get your great grandkids never worrying about money. And I don't mean filthy rich kid assholes, which they might end up being. What I mean is not worrying about money the way that my family did when I was growing up. I mentioned on this very live that I lettered in theater, that I am a thespian. I didn't get the letter jacket. I couldn't, it was $98. I had girlfriends, never had a problem with the ladies, but I couldn't give them my letter jacket to wear. I know, it's something that still bothers me. And some of you have heard that story. Danny, you will do it also for me, says Ed. Just need a few months to come over. You already saved me money and time. Very happy to know you. Take the time to write out for everybody, Ed and me. How did I save you money already? Do I have your number, Ed? Have we consulted? If we've consulted, just let me know. Danny, you've inspired me. Okay, said that. Sorry. Jorge, the realtor keeps the deposit as a commission? Deposit 50? No, a deposit you get back, supposedly, just like an apartment or a vehicle that you rent. But the joke is, what are you going to do? It's a free loan, even if they give you back the money in 15 years. And what I always say famously, yeah, it's standard boilerplate language that you want a $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 deposit on this lease, but I just kind of laugh it off. Why would we give you $6,000 for 15 years? We're not going to return the place with clean carpets and drapes, and then I shut up. You have to know when to lock and throw away that key. If it is truly a negotiation, the first to speak loses, and that's the truth most of the time. None of these little rules that may be steadfast are real. When someone looks down and to the left, they're not always lying. Learn that CIA training. Danny won't let you make a bad deal. He's worth the cost. What cost? It's next to nothing. Course is well worth the money. Thank you. All right, now you guys are getting salesy. Again, when you do that, it brings out the skeptic in me, and I know what's in the course. Another one in the bag. I'm up next. Let's go. Absolutely. Jimmy John says, I love your sandwiches. I got the course and had a chat with Danny a few days ago. Next step, bringing him on board to negotiate a lease. Well, thanks, Jimmy John. How was my phone consultation? Was it anything like you thought it would be? Let's tell the people. Ask your questions. I'm getting ready to get the fuck out of here. Let's go, people. I got more calls to make. I'm waiting. No? Any topic, any movie. Anybody? Anybody know the shirt? Come on. You guys suck. This is Dustin. Would you rather drive an hour to a nicer, more economical town to scout or kind of poorer neighborhood, but very close? That's chapter 2 in my course. It talks about A, is this the right business for you? And then B, where? You're going to go to the nearest economically depressed area. And brother, if you live in a shithole, you probably want to get out of there. But for now, start scooping up laundromats in the shithole so that you can become the king of the shithole. And then you can move to the nicer neighborhoods and drive back there to collect the money. I hope that helps. Jason. My name is Jason. Okay, well, it says, I found you about a week ago. I plan on getting the course tonight and listen to it while operating a crane at work. I believe things happen for a reason. Yeah, I do too, I guess. Listen. Listening to it, good. While you're operating the crane, don't get caught, don't get in trouble. Keep the JOB. JOBs are important. And eventually, Jason, you don't know this now. You can't know this now. You'll be doing the crane thing while you own laundries. You might have a little gray hair, a little snow on the roof, and everybody's going to be like, what's wrong with that Jason guy? He's always smiling. Because you got money put away, dude. That's the diff. Ken says 1 is 12, 12 is 1. Okay. Yep. Right. Thank you. Lee Martin, Spiritual Energy Life. That's his real handle. I'm on the way, Danny. Getting the funds together. This is Lee Martin. It says that. Thanks, Lee. We got each other numbers. Okay. Michelle says, I had a phone consultation with you earlier this year. I loved it. As an aside, I enjoyed seeing your non-laundromat YouTube video showing you and your family on the land. Well, thank you. We do have a lot of land. We have an offer for another 48 acres right now, and hopefully another 95 acres when a certain person, God rest his soul, passes away. He's not dead yet. Ed, not yet, but in the further you will consult me. How you, I don't know where you're from, but I can't do the accent because I'm not sure where it is from. How you saved me money and time. I was already searching to buy a laundry. Ed, this is what's weird to me. I'm not consulting with you, okay? And my consultation fee is inconsequential. It's not a lot of money. It's not enough money. What I do is a little silly. I am very, very well off, thanks in large part to laundromats. And that being said, I don't charge what is appropriate. I'm not a fucking saint, but I'm not here doing this to make a living, is what I'm trying to tell people without saying it. If you know how I travel, if you know my lifestyle, okay. I have to go pick up my third Humvee here in a minute. What a dickhead thing to say. All right, so I saved you from buying a laundromat. Where were you going to get that money? Please don't tell me you had some deal working where it was going to be a seller finance deal. My God. Hey, I want to sell you my old shoes, but I'm going to carry the note. The down payment pays for the thing, guys. Not yet. Wait, hey, Danny, what's your strategy with craps? Lose. I enjoy the sport of gambling. I love having my gorgeous wife in an evening gown next to me, be it in Monaco. We might go to the Vegas F1 thing in a couple of weeks. I enjoy the sport of gambling. I don't expect to win, therefore I mean, the strategy is play with all the other players for one thing. I'm not Peter Mayberry, but sign for your money, write the whole trip off, etc. 7 rolls most often. Don't get me started. But there's no strategy. I don't expect to win. We break even. We bet a lot and we break even, which is really fun. To me, it's the juices. I mean, you like to win, but at the end, what I remember most is waking up and being like, we're down to the felt. There's no money. Then Shelly turns her purse over because she's been stealing from me all night. There's all those lavender checks in there, $5,000. Job equals just over broke. Kaboom! There we go. Slow process, says Lee. So in the hypothetical scenario, I get a laundromat for free, then get a $0 down on retool. If it goes down and the business goes down, how bad does the impact my credit? I assume it all will be through LLC. Wrong, John Smith. Fucking wrong. Your LLC is going to protect you from shit. Wrong. Small thinking. Now let's talk about your hypothetical. You got a laundromat for free. You retooled it at 0. How did you fuck this up? Played too many craps on the weekend? Where are we at? Don't believe anyone that tells you that everything is guaranteed, but my goodness. And you're worried about how it impacts your credit? What are you using your credit for? I'm not asking what your score is. I'm asking what you are using it for. I know billionaires who don't know their credit score because they don't need it. Evan, Danny always takes the time to ensure his client understands the big picture. Yes, I'm trying to make John understand that. Your credit is what you're worried about. You just lost your business and you think that landlord is going to come after you. You've lost the business. It's a barber shop. It's not a laundromat. You lost it because you didn't know what the fuck you were doing. You're good at cutting hair. You had 12 employees stealing from you every day. You went on too many vacations. You played too much crap, so you lost the business. Why would the landlord come after you? You can't get blood from a stone. Jimmy says, was very relaxed call when we consulted and we found commonality quickly. Planes, helicopters. Okay, I know who you are. Called me out for my this is James corporate way of answering the phone. Noted. Yeah, man, it's just me. This is James. Good God. Yeah, that was like word 1, sentence 1. How many of your clients actually failed after getting their laundromats? None. Go find one. Oh, God. How many? 34. There's a recently closed laundry that has the realtor's phone up. It's on a busy corner, South Central LA. Don't give away too much, Jorge. There is new laundry 4 I think he's going to say blocks away. Let me guess. Lee, what are you doing today, Danny? I'm going to the gun range now. Okay, have a good time, bud. Have you gone yet? I live in the nicest area of my state with no laundromats anywhere in town. And the shithole, Milwaukee, 30 minutes away at the least, 10 depressed laundromats. Okay, yeah, so that's where you're going to go. Proud of you. Danny's doing God's work. Dickhead aside. Wait, who's the dickhead in this scenario? What? Scared money don't make no money. Look at you with your little things. Having financial freedom, says Jason, is the plan. That's what interests me in starting my own business. I'm in a great job that will allow me to be patient while pursuing this. Good. You said it. This. In the beginning of your statement, having financial freedom is the plan. What interests me is starting my own business. You just said business, not laundromat. What other type of business would it be? This is the only plan I have for you, my friend. I'm not here to bullshit you about, oh, car washes, vending machines. People that have owned a vending route, a couple of machines, they see my course and they shit in their own hand and eat it and then shit it out again and think about eating it twice because they can't believe my take on vending. You guys know what I'm talking about. And they all tell me, whether I see them at a seminar or consult with them on the phone or they email me, they say, dead on, Danny. I'm a lucky investor. My accent is German. Ah, jawohl. Was ist los? Sprechen, Fräulein. Sprechen. Who cares? Credit, leverage, debt. Exactly. Danny D sporting a cool tease. That's it for you louts. I hope you had a nice time. I hope you got your questions out. And here's the important thing. People are constantly saying, I'm so happy I caught a live. You don't need a live. Email me. If you have to go through a little thing to find my email, tough shit. Someone just wrote on YouTube today, how do I email you? Take a guess what I wrote back. Use your computer is what I wrote. What a horrible person and what a terrible salesman. I ain't selling shit. That dude couldn't take the time to go to the website and click on email Danny? We will ask the questions. Why don't we remove her ovaries? He's German. In your experience, Danny, can you still get a free laundromat at a half a decent mat, or does it have... What the fuck? Oh, or does it have to be a shithole? We're literally just doing it. It's like, does it still work? All right, I see what you're saying. I have done this in several states with several clients where and don't start sending me beautiful, bright, gorgeous stores, but I've done it. As long as we're calling landlords, we leave no stone unturned. Why does that make sense? We called this store in New Jersey. It was a nice store with 2 or 3 year old equipment. I did my regular spiel, only picking on a few things that were wrong with the store, not the equipment, not the air conditioning, which was rocking. And the landlord interrupted my discussion and said, you know what? The guy's a doctor. He's sick and tired of running this place. He thought it was going to make XXX. He's paying the rent. He pays before it comes due. But he's paying me too much in rent. He actually told me that. He paid too much for the equipment. He didn't know what he was doing. So unless the guy goes out and does 10 more laundromats, it's not worth his particular time. So what did we do? Signed the lease contingent on the exit of the tenant. He let him out of his lease. We had a new lease. And my client, because that doctor paid too much for the equipment and the pipes, the gas, the electric, everything else, he went to the bank, who's also the distributor of the equipment, the manufacturer, they're all in cahoots, and he said, take your shit out. What do you think they did? They sold it to him for 10 cents on the dollar. A used lawnmower is almost worthless. A used lawnmower at a yard sale with no gasoline next to it is worthless. A lawnmower at Lowe's or Home Depot, it has worth because you're pretty sure once you put gas and pull the cord, it's going to run. What do you think used laundromat equipment pulled out of a store is worth? I hope that made sense. Would a bad credit score affect the ability to retool? I have $60,000 in cash. Jesus, don't tell people about that. Cash? But I'm worried that I couldn't afford to retool. Bro, if you've got $60K and you have debts, you're a fucking idiot. Fix your credit. Do you need credit to do this? No. See the course. You, with 60 grand, need to see the course. Watch it. You won't spend that money. You'll act like rich people and you'll keep your money. Once you see it, reach out, we'll talk. John says, I just bought the course. My credit is for home plus car purchases. I have a regular job. Okay, so your credit is fucked because you use it like regular people for home and car purchases. And you're worried that if you go out and get a laundromat and it fails, that you are going to not be able to buy your home and car purchases anymore. What is ever going to see you in a substantial wealth category? Nothing, unless you change your mindset. This is the guy earlier. If you're just joining us, go back and listen to where I read his original comment. I don't have the energy. You got to change your mind, dude. Oh, I have a regular job and my credit's important because I got to buy the car and the house every now and then. Imagine using your credit to build a multi-million-dollar generational wealth producing Did the computer just glitch? Empire. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. I just made fun of somebody that wanted to know how to email me. Jason says, where do I find the course? There's 50 of you on here. I want all 50 of you to make fun of a guy named Jason in the comments, in the video, not in the top chat. Make fun of him with a dad joke and tell him where to get the stupid course and how much you loved it. Goodbye.